tonight's episode of the Group Therapy Podcast. I'm Paul.
I'm Tina.
Brandon is on sabbatical tonight, playing some pen and paper RPG. So we'll let him have that one. We'll let it slide this time. Hopefully we can get TJ back again because we apologize for last week's episode. Last week's episode was a mess. We did a test. The camera we had gave up the ghost right when we were trying to shoot.
So he had to use my school webcam, which is, I literally just use it so I can take tests.
And well, we tested it and we had it was fine. And then when we ran the entire episode,
yeah, for some reason that camera will not work with the microphone.
Yeah,
that microphone.
So we shot the entire episode. I went to edit it and discovered the sound was completely off through the entire episode. We'll have TJ back again for another episode where he can sit here and talk and you can actually hear us this time. For those who did crank up the volume and go through the whole thing, we apologize. We are very sorry. Hopefully that will not happen again. This is our first night with our new camera. We will hopefully have the mic, our regular mic back, so the sound may be a little off tonight. So hopefully the testing went well on this one too. So with the microphone on this one.
Okay.
So we're going to bring back our actual table mic then next week because we realized when we went to set up we needed an adapter that we did not have. So we'll just order the adapter and next week we'll have the microphone back. But we're going to have a little free-for-all on this episode. We're going to talk. I'm going to do some reviewing on some comic books. We're going to talk some RPGs, talk about some upcoming stuff.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
Because
he doesn't tell me.
I didn't even really know. We just came back. We were down in Vandalia. Went to go visit Jesse so I could pick up some books. And had a discussion with Jesse. So
in the middle of a snowstorm.
In the middle of a snowstorm. Not in the middle of a snowstorm.
A snowstorm.
Yeah. For check your local listings for weather.
Yeah.
Our weather is garbage right now. Because not only is it snowing, but then it rained, and now it's snowing again. And
I was just in Brighton, Michigan last week, and it had snowed a lot there. And my family lives... it's called Island Lake, and it's next to like a state park area, but where they live is all kind of dirt roads and it's a residential area. But you know, you just wait for the big trucks with 4-wheel drive to smush down the snow so you can drive through there with your car. And where my uncle is, there's kind of a steep hill that you got to get up, and typically it's not a problem, but this time I got about halfway up and then started rolling backwards back down it, and there's a lake behind me. So it made me slightly nervous, but I survived. I did not go into the lake.
Yeah.
So Ohio snow doesn't seem so bad this week.
No. Well, it's funny because you can leave here in Piqua, in sunny Piqua, and you can drive the 3 hours up to the lake. And it'll be 50 when you leave here and 20 when you get there.
Oh, easy.
So,
I mean, lake cold is a whole different kind of cold.
Yeah. But, okay, before I forget, tonight's episode, as always, is brought to you by brought to you by RU Game, the best video game, comic, magic, toy, movie, whatever I sell.
It's a hobby shop.
It's a hobby. In all of Piqua, Ohio, given the fact that I'm the only shop in Piqua that sells all this stuff. So
you're only shop for a while that sells all of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
like the retro gaming. And
yeah. The next closest is 35 minutes away, somewhere in that ballpark. But as always, brought to you by RU Game at 124 North Sunset Drive, Piqua, Ohio, 45356. And you can check, you can follow the store at RU Game on Facebook. And if you ever see anything on there, you can notify me because I post stuff almost daily of all the new stuff I got in, which I will have new stuff in on Monday. Because last week, this week that we're currently on was Big Magic Week, so I had a ton of the new Kaldheim Magic, and that set was one of the ones where people were like, they waited till last minute. The only person who pre-ordered was Bone, and then all of a sudden, everybody wanted them, and I'm like, I have to order in advance, right? And I can't just, and then, so.
That's the thing.
Yeah, but no, Kaldheim is the whole thing, so we had a bunch of people for Magic coming in and going in and out all weekend, but then I got more coming in. I got more Magic coming in this
Turn it
week.
down a little bit, Vince.
So, you guys over there watching something in fast
Okay.
forward, which is annoying enough when it's not fast forward. So, anybody who has a child with autism knows that a child will get locked into something, and they will love that, and they'll watch it over and over and over again. I feel sorry for all of you because we know exactly what you go through.
Yeah.
So,
It's the thing.
it's a thing. Okay. But, alright, we just watched, and we're not going to give any spoilers, so this is going to be a spoiler-free.
Spoiler free.
Spoiler-free.
If we accidentally do a spoiler, then he'll bleep it out in editing.
Yeah, hopefully.
But we won't do that.
Yeah. WandaVision episode 4 dropped this week. A lot of people were like, "Yeah, that's just," and I'm like, "Have you ever watched television before? It's nothing ever. I mean, it takes a few episodes to really
I
get
don't know.
going."
I liked it from the get go.
Oh, I did
I
too.
liked it from the first episode.
And
I thought it was great.
you get a bunch of big. This isn't really.
It explains a lot.
Yeah,
in
and
this
it's
one.
yeah, and this is your episode where you find out pretty much everything.
I mean, not pretty much
No,
everything. But
yeah, but
it just
get
explains
that,
a lot.
Yeah,
You get more of the story. You
I-
get more of the details. So
yeah.
if you watched the first episode and you were kind of like, go ahead and watch the next few. Get to the 4th episode, and I think that's when it'll draw you in.
It's like everybody told me with Harry Potter. They're like, "Hey, you gotta read Harry Potter." I read that first book. That's not for me. I can't get into it. No. You gotta get past that one. All right. I read the second one. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's hard to get through, man. That's a little kid's book. And mind you, at the time when Harry Potter the books dropped, I worked at a hotel, so literally we'd sit for hours with nothing to do. And the people I worked with would just leave them behind. They're like, "Oh, you gotta read them. And I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm done. I'm never going back to these books. These are freaking for children." And don't get me wrong, I read like the Star Wars, the Young Jedi books and stuff like that. Those I know were aimed for kids. And I'm like, yeah, this is just not a good book series. And finally, we watched the movies. I'm like, yeah, the movies are okay. They're not bad. Then everybody goes, "Oh, you gotta," and then I was working at a place where we were able to listen to like music and stuff like that, and I would listen to books on tape and CD tape. See, there was a time, children, when there was a thing called audio cassettes, and these cassettes came about 90 minutes of music, so 45 minutes on one side, 45 minutes on the other, and they came on magnetic tape in small cartridges. And I would listen to it, and all of a sudden, everybody's like, and I'm like, oh, you know what? The hell with it. I was bored, so I just started listening to the Harry Potter on CD. And I hit that 3rd book, and I'm like, oh, okay, that one was better. And I'm going to put this out there. You will never convince me otherwise. J.K. Rowling probably wrote those first 2 books. She did not write any of the books after the 3rd book. She had them all ghost written. She plotted them. She told them what she wanted to happen. Because that writing style changes like drastically.
I don't know. I've never read
Yeah,
them.
but I read the rest of them, and I enjoyed them. And I mean, but they're completely different than the first 2 books.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my whole thing with WandaVision is those first couple episodes of the first 2 Harry Potter books, and then you get to that when you're like, oh, okay,
Like
that's
I said,
pretty
I
good.
liked them all.
Oh yeah,
I got into it right away, so.
yeah. I mean, it's our Friday night thing. I come home. You're usually watching your show when I get home from work, and then when that show's over, we watch WandaVision. So
one of my shows, I usually try to catch up on either Resident or
you're watching Zoe this
Zoe's-
week,
Yeah.
and then you were fighting with it because the Spectrum decided to go off.
decided to, after I'm like 40 minutes into the hour-long show, it decides to stop it, and then it won't start back where it was, and then it won't let me fast forward.
And it was
So
up
it was
until
irritating.
yeah.
So I had to go watch it on the TV upstairs. And that one let me fast forward.
I'm not gonna lie, that's one of the shows. That's all her. That's a show that she enjoys.
She is not a musical person.
No.
I am.
And I'm like watching it. I don't think the characters are likable.
I
I don't think.
I like the show. I mean, how could I not like a show that's basically a musical that centers around a redhead that has like gone through some of the same stuff I've gone through in life, so I get it. I like relate to it a lot.
Yeah, but you're likable.
So is she?
I
I
don't
think
know.
she is. I think she's just struggling.
Yeah, but no, it was funny because I had the realization like 2 days ago that she's the girl, one of the girls from the new remake of Evil. The new remake is how many years old now?
Yeah.
The remake of Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, she's got a lot more credit with me. I liked her in that movie. And I'm not gonna apologize. Fuck, I love that new Evil Dead movie.
I liked it too.
That was a great one.
Yeah.
Man, when she takes spoiler alert on a movie that's literally like came out in like 2013, so this shit's old. So if you haven't seen it yet, that's all on you. So man, when she takes that X-Acto knife, like, and splits her tongue down the middle, I'm like, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was the
Yeah,
same person until you pointed it out.
Yep. That's one of the ones that surprises you because you suddenly realize that a lot of these people got their start in horror movies, like all the way back.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
like, shit, Kevin Bacon,
yeah.
that's where he got his start.
Yep.
Annie, are you sleeping again?
No, I'm watching Magnum again.
When it comes to action and adventure, come home to Tom Selleck. Come home to Magnum on Channel 12.
We got a one pepperoni with anchovies. What are you doing? I'm watching Magnum.
He's smooth, he's sexy, he's hot.
Lady, you want to watch your machine as soon as I'm done watching Magnum.
Come home to Tom Selleck. Come home to Magnum. Weekdays at 5.
This is the Micro Machine Man presenting the most midget miniature motorcade of Micro Machine. Each one has dramatic details, terrific trims, stupendous styling, precision paint jobs, working wheels, Micro Machine cars of vast variety, including Lamborghini, Trans Am, Corvette, 4x4, Blazer, pickup Charger, and many more. Micro Machine planes, polished, perfect precision like F-15 Corsair, Space Shuttle, P-51 Mustang, Micro Machine boats, a fabulous fleet of tugs, PTs, and speedboats. Talk about small. Micro Machines are less gargantuan than a grasshopper, as midget as a marble, and smaller than a silver dollar.
Hey, Dad!
You want to get more Micro Machines to add to our collection?
Yeah!
A miniature midget colossal collection of Micro Machines. Collect them, trade them, race them. The Micro Machines set sold separately from Galoob. They're really small.
George Clooney. He was in Grizzly, the 2 that just came out. That movie's been shelved for like 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been shelved for a very long time. Oh my god! But you watch those, and then I come home and we watch WandaVision. Used to be that every Friday was The Mandalorian for me and Joe. So hopefully when
Which I never intended to watch, but I'd get sucked into it.
That's right.
All the time.
Then you're like, oh, I like that.
Yeah, it was a good show.
That's a great
I'll
show.
give it that.
That's probably one of the best shows to come out for me in the past decade. I mean, you know.
See, we're so different on some of that stuff.
Oh no, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, you like all your Star Wars, really.
Oh,
did,
yeah.
and,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Me, I'm like, oh, cool, it's a musical. Yay!
There's only 3 musicals you're legally allowed to like. As a man. That is Purple Rain, Rocky Horror Picture Show, and Repo, the genetic opera.
Hey, you liked Moulin Rouge.
You know what? It had Obi-Wan Kenobi in it. So, yet again, yeah. We
that's 4.
we will say that, well, no, because I like Obi-Wan Kenobi in it. Ewan McGregor. You want to make it better, you put in Ewan McGregor. That's how me and Brandon has figured out the handful of actors that no matter what movie you put them in, they will be the best thing about a bad movie. and Ewan McGregor is one of them.
Well,
He's like
you
number
like
one.
the musicals that the music isn't telling the story.
Yeah. It's just like
Like-
when, like I like what's the one with all the hair music.
Oh, Rock of Ages.
Rock Ages. I don't mind that one, but a lot of people fucking hate that one.
I love that movie.
Despise that one. Like a lot of the metal, but I'm like, how can you hate it as a metal when like legit like?
Well, a lot of people that didn't like it were fans of the Broadway too.
Yeah, but there are
because
people
they
who
didn't
hated the
feel
Broadway.
like
Yeah.
they didn't feel like the Broadway or the movie like didn't do justice for the Broadway, and you know it's kind of whatever. I liked it. I liked the actors. I thought they did a good job.
Yeah.
I really do like musicals. But no, that was one that didn't. The songs didn't completely tell the story.
Yeah.
Like you really dislike those.
Yeah.
Because like Chicago, you're just like
I have no.
you can't follow it. I can
No.
follow it because I.
Yeah, it's like one of
the
your favorite
songs-
music. Yeah.
the songs tell a story.
You know, it's the musical.
Okay, evidently I like musicals about crazy people because that's where that goes.
Oh, you know, I love the musical episode of Buffy because
That
rabbits.
was like so comedic.
Oh yeah, it was great. Like, what do they need such good eyesight for, anyways? So. But,
Yeah, that's kind of surprising that you like that too, because
well, that's like I Flash and stuff. When they have the musical episode of Flash, I'm just like, nah.
I remember when you went with me to see Romeo and Juliet, and you were like, I don't know what's happening.
Oh no. You know what's the best one was when you convinced me to see Rent.
I'm sorry.
She's like, oh, Rosario Dawson's in it, and she's a stripper. I'm like, what? No. And then I was like, oh, that's wrong. You haven't seen.
I did not lie.
Yeah.
I did not lie.
Yeah.
Rosario Dawson is in it, and she is a stripper.
Yeah, that's not cool, man. That's not cool in any way, shape,
I did
or
not
form.
lie
Yeah,
at
I know.
all.
But you did not
One
finish
of my
telling.
favorite movies too.
You did not
so.
finich telling the story, is what it is. You just ended all the information with that point right there. You did not finish with the vital information.
You didn't ask any questions.
I should have came up with some follow-up questions on that.
Maybe you should have.
I should have. Now I know better next time. Always follow-up questions, no matter what. Remember, kids out there, always come in with follow-up questions.
You should say, remember, husbands,
Remember,
always come
yes,
up with
yes.
follow-up questions for your wives when they're trying
Yep.
to convince you to watch something that you really don't think you want to
If
watch.
you don't think you want to watch it, what's really great was when
Spice World.
hey, I love Spice World. That's fun. I'm not gonna lie, that's a dumbass movie that was so.
That I convinced you to go see, and you
But
laughed through the
oh
whole
my
thing.
god, the supporting cast is
Yeah.
awesome in that
Meatloaf.
movie. Meatloaf. You had freaking Richard O'Brien. You had freaking Riff Raff from freaking. You had Alan Cumming and the supporting cast. The Spice Girls are whatever because they're not.
It was a fun movie.
Yeah, but
it really was.
the supporting cast that made that movie. Their support. They're
You like Josie and the Pussycats.
yeah, I do love Josie and the Pussycats. That's
Yeah,
that's
see?
satirical commentary on that one. So, and but what was it? De jour means love. De jour means friendship, man.
I don't think that's what de jour means.
Nah,
Yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah.
Josie and the Pussycats is a classic. Go watch it.
You realize that shit's like 20 years old
I
now?
know. That's why I said it's a
depressing.
classic.
Oh no, I had.
But it still pertains.
Yeah, oh,
You
definitely.
can watch that movie and it holds up.
And it has Rosario Dawson.
Yes, it does. But she's not a stripper.
No. But oh my god, I had a realization the other day that we're talking about shit getting old, and I was like, I know I'm getting old, but next year is my 30th high school reunion, and I'm like, they stopped inviting me to Sydney, like at the 10th anniversary. Picklet invited me the last 2 times, which is funny because I didn't graduate from Picklet.
No. The thing on Facebook that's like the whole cashier asking somebody to see their ID, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, you're good. I see the 1."
Yeah, 19.
Because now if you're born in 2000, that's the cutoff.
Yep.
In 1999. And it dawned on me how old we are.
Yeah.
Because if your birth date, if the year starts with a 19, you're old enough.
You were born in a different millennium. You know, and it was funny because I was looking through some stuff. We were sitting there talking at the shop the other day about movies that took place in the future, of the far-flung future of 1999, or the far-flung future of 2001, or 2001 has done nothing but lie to me. You know, you figure if Stanley Kubrick was going to develop that kind of technology to be able to go film on the moon, that we would be we'd be in Jupiter by now. But people forget he didn't direct the second one. So, but yeah, we were sitting there talking. But man, you're like looking back and like
Movie's still boring. There's a difference in our movie taste right there.
no, I love long, drawn out, fucking weird movies.
Yeah, I'm like asleep.
I gotta sit down
do
and
it.
see if you can get through Holy Mountain.
Okay.
That's a Jodorowsky movie, and it's
No, it's funny because there are some like they'll hold my attention, and I can't stop watching them.
you know what I think's freaking hilarious about you is you will sit down and you can binge television. You can binge 6 hours of television, but sitting through a 3-hour movie will drive you fucking insane.
Yeah.
You'll be like, I can't do 3 hours. Like you literally watched 6 hours of Designated Survivor. What the heck?
Yeah, but it's in smaller bite-sized chunks. I can get up and walk away and then come back to it. Or sometimes I don't sit there, I have it on for background noise and I like do something else. Like,
See, that's what's one thing is funny because you know I've gone to like the Horrorama and stuff like that. I was supposed to go this year, but you know then COVID hit and I wasn't really comfortable going. And then they moved the days around and stuff like that. But you know you could not do 12 hours in a movie theater.
no,
And I've literally done 14.
no. I would like die.
And the best one was I don't know if any of you guys remember this, was when Andy used to do the was it like Get Out Alive, where he would just show the weirdest stuff. You pay like $10 to get in, and if you made it like 5 hours through or whatever, for every movie you made it through, you got part of your money back. And it was literally, I got my money back, but it was some of the most. One of the things we watched was like some crazy woman who a documentary about crazy people who thought Elvis was still alive. We watched like I want to say one of them was actually somebody's like home movies, and we watched it, and it was so painful, but yet we watched it because we wanted to get our money back. We paid to get our money back. But there was also there was contests and shit in the middle of it and stuff like that. So I don't know if any of you guys remember that, but that was fun stuff. We need to see if somebody else can run that again. I'm looking at you, Matt Brassfield. See if we can see if you can run that again. But oh my god, no, that was fun stuff. But that was all night too. And that was some rough stuff. Oh man. But I could do 12 hours of watching movies. I watch about 4 hours of movies a night anyways. I usually watch at least a full movie and like a couple episodes of a TV show or something every night, if I don't watch 2 movies. And then I watch the most bizarre stuff and then go to bed. You used to make fun of me. I don't know how. I let people have like I don't know how you do that. I'd watch messed up horror movies and then go right to bed and be fine.
Makes fun of me because I have nightmares.
She's got to do a palate cleanser. When we watch a horror movie, we'll literally have to watch like a half-hour comedy or something like that, or a stand-up special, so she can laugh and
So I can get back.
get to bed. Yeah, there's like
Otherwise, that horror movie will like I'll
seep
start
into your
thinking about it,
dreams
and I'll start thinking
nightmares.
about it, and I'll start thinking about it, and then I'll go to sleep, and whatever happened in the horror movie starts happening in my dreams, and then I wake up, and then I go back to sleep, and it just goes right back to it, and
Keeps going.
it's awful, and he thinks it's hilarious.
Yeah, because literally when I used to work third shift, I would come home and I would put a movie in the DVD player and go to bed. Put a movie in the DVD player and go to bed.
Oh yeah, when he worked third shift and we'd go see a horror movie, and then I'd have to come home and be home all night by myself.
And I'd be at work.
So I'd be on the couch under a blanket,
But I would put
trying to survive the night after watching a weird horror movie.
Oh, dude, oh my God. I would put Suspiria in, and Suspiria is one of my favorite horror movies, but it's a screwed up horror movie. I have my copy of Suspiria on DVD. Will just repeat. So I would always have that noise going, and there was only a few DVDs I had that would just keep repeating, so that I would always have the constant. That's before we had streaming on every TV and everything else like that. Literally watching this in my bedroom on a little CRT TV, but I'd have that in the corner, and I'd be listening to Suspiria while I was sleeping at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh my God! Talking about the watching movies and stuff, and then going to work was we were talking about movies that you had to watch or that were really groundbreaking the other day, and we were talking about the original Blair Witch movie and everything, because we started out talking about Cannibal Holocaust, about how they had to hide the fact that they had to bring the people out of hiding to prove that they weren't dead, so that the guy wouldn't get so he wouldn't go to prison for murder. But we went and seen the opening night, the midnight showing on a Wednesday for Blair Witch.
And you went to work.
And I went to work.
Home
Yeah.
by myself.
But I
with every little noise.
Literally, I had to leave, drop you guys off, and then go back to work. Because when it was done, midnight showing got done at 2. I went in and worked 3 to 7. So I took a half day to go see a movie. And everybody's asking me a billion questions about that. But, we would do stuff like, when we did that, that was great because we got to see it at an advanced screening, and no one had spoiled nothing for anybody because there's there was internet back then, but there's no real spoiling on the internet, so it wasn't like everybody on fucking Facebook first thing going, "Oh my God, I can't believe that the Blair Witch was," And spoiler alert on a 99, so 22-year-old movie. The ending, and the great was all the people who thought that actually happened. I remember
being in the theater and people like in the hallway like,
"Oh my God, I can't believe they let them people show them people, their kids dying on film." The guy standing next to me, I'm in the urinal, I'm sitting there peeing, and the dude's next to me, and he's talking to his buddy, he's like, "Those people are all dead. They killed every one of them, and they got this, and I'm like, you don't know how movies work, man. Holy crap."
Yeah, but the marketing on that
was I dug through
phenomenal.
my stuff. I dug through my stuff the other day and found my original Blair Witch missing poster from the Blair Witch website. So it has the Blair Witch, it has the missing pictures, has all their information on it. I'm like, and 2 of them are still acting, and then Heather's now a pot farmer or some shit like that.
Well, she was doing like Steak and Shake commercials, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yep, yeah. All the rest of them guys, and then of course you got the guys that directed them all, did other stuff. And they're hit and miss on their movies, but people who watch Blair Witch now will never, ever get that. You can't get that now. The ending's been ruined for everybody. It's not like you can be surprised by the ending now. But
that was one where everybody just kind of sat there for a minute,
they really had to let that sink in.
Yeah,
people
the
were like,
theater was like completely quiet when it ended. I don't know if I've ever.
Yeah, because people start getting up and moving and start making noise, and it
was literally a good 2 to 3 minutes of just complete silence.
And everybody's just like, and no one got up. No one, and this was pre-Marvel. This is post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
So no one expected there to be a post-credit scene. So this is just everybody sitting there in complete and total silence, and then all of a sudden, people start getting up and wandering out in the hallway, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's on!" It's like,
yeah. Then you hear like the whispering.
I can't believe they murdered all those people.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience.
Oh man, that's what's great is I grew up in the era of Faces of Death, and I still own Faces of Death on DVD. I don't own it on VHS anymore. I sold that when it was stupid expensive. Probably still is stupid expensive, but I sold it years ago when I needed money. But
Made Bob famous.
Yep, Bob. Yep. Goddamn. So the story behind Bob. If you go back and watch Faces of Death, there's a scene where these people are feeding a bear, and the guy gets out of the car, and the whole entire time the woman is filming the bear from the car, and the guy is filming the bear from outside, and this is all going on at the same time. And you hear the woman, she's like, "Bob, get back in the car, Bob, 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 what are you doing, Bob, Bob, Bob?" The person, the bear rears up, and knocks the guy. The camera goes flying through the air.
God, Bob.
Oh my God, Bob! And then you see the bear rolling off with the dude's arm hanging out of his mouth. For the longest time, I had a fake arm with a watch on it that hung in my car for probably 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
And it was Bob.
It was Bob.
It was Bob the arm. And it was a good hand too, because that was when we got those early ones where you stick them out the car door and stuff like that. But they had a really good full size
Yeah.
And I remember
Bob
doing
was great.
I remember doing the alien thing where I'd put it in my pocket and stand there and talk to people, and then have my arm inside my shirt and be like, "Ah!" They still see my arm hanging out of my pocket. But yeah, that was Bob, and I can't remember what happened to Bob. I think he got stolen out of my car actually.
Probably.
So somebody stole Bob out of my car. It'd be funny if it was a bear.
Poor Bob. Actually, feel bad for the real Bob, but
Yeah, but there was no real Bob.
but
Bob did not die. I found out years later that freaking Faces of Death was
Oh,
all
yeah,
fake.
that's
And then
true.
you're like, And that's what sucks about, I got the DVD with Faces of Death, but then there's a documentary one after that, and it's Faces of Death, Fact or Fiction. And I'm like the animal, the dead animals and stuff like that, that's real. And they push that stuff. But man, like the rest of it, you're like, oh man, really? All these years I thought it was real? That sucks. And it's like you're bummed out because people didn't die on film for you. So,
yeah, that says a lot about you.
oh, hey, back when we were young, that's how we knew. When we would date a new girl, we would let her watch Faces of Death with us, and if they could get through that, then they were good enough to hang out with us.
Oh, was that what that was? I passed the test.
You passed the
evidently.
test. Yeah, that's right. You didn't get up and never come back.
Sat there and ate snacks and watched Faces
Oh
of Death.
my
and
God, yeah. I remember watching one of the Faces of Death. It was Faces of Death or Traces of Death or one of them with Rick Peake back in the day at his mom's house. And I'm literally eating a plate of spaghetti. And his sister is like sitting over here. She's like, oh. And I'm like,
Of course you are.
She's like, oh my God, oh.
I wasn't really gory.
Well, Traces of Death, and I can't remember which one it was. It was one of the later ones. It wasn't the first Faces of Death. Because, man, we used to rent those all the time because we were screwed up kids. And they rented those to you. They also...
That was like, I mean, we didn't have other stuff.
Yeah. We didn't have,
We didn't have the internet.
We didn't have the internet back then. We had to watch this because the internet actually is real shit. It's like, oh my God, people do that. I remember like the first time I got like a medical like when they show like people with their hands blown apart from like holding on to grenades or
It don't look real anyway.
no, it looks fake. It looks super fake. That's like the X-ray of the guy who was like firecracker, and his hand was all mangled, and it was an X-ray, and you're looking at it and you're like, that's not real. And then the next page is the dude's mangled hand, and you're like, oh fuck, that is real.
And
But
that looks fake too.
It still looks fake. It still
Yeah.
looks like a prosthetic. I mean, in the day and age of like, I'm a horror movie guy, a horror movie kid. I grew up, man. I worshipped at the ground of freaking like Tom Savini and K&B and Kevin Yeager and all these guys, and so I devoured all that stuff. So when I was like got older, when you actually see like you're just like that looks fake because it's real. You know, I worked on a farm, and you see dead animals, and dead animals don't look real, especially when they're.
I feel like it's your brain, like
Kind of taping over, but yeah. I mean, I've seen messed up stuff, and you're just like, yeah, it don't look real. Smell, though, smell, that'll get you every time. Rotten meat.
Well, I talk about when I was a kid, when I got the really bad burns, and like the smell I will never forget is being in the burn trauma unit at Children's.
Well, when I was a kid, I got my hand slammed in a car door when I was working at the grocery store, and I had to go to the hospital and get stitches put in. A kid came in who had got burnt real bad, and I don't know how he got burnt, but the smell when the kid came in, that I will never forget that smell, and it's like. You know,
yeah, I remember being when I was in the burn trauma unit, because I mean that was a whole big open room. They just had curtains back in the day, you know, when I was like 5 when that happened, and I mean it just smelled like medicine and burnt flesh. And
there's nothing on this planet. There's certain things that will rotten meat, burned living tissue. Hair.
Yeah, hair, and that's probably a big part of it. Is when people get burns, is the smell of the hair.
Yeah. I smelled a burnt horse one time, barn fire. That was gross. But and I could smell that. Like I didn't see it. It was like it was near where I was, and you could smell the dead horse. And it's like, but I could see a dead horse and be like. Fuck, that's a dead horse. Damn. The smell would hit me like, oh man. I can handle 90% of everything as I've gotten older. When I was a kid, things gross me out and stuff like that. And as I got older, I became like, I'm hard-hearted and
work in the medical field. I can't be grossed out over a lot, but I still am at times.
You know, shit. I've worked with people that you know, that the sight of blood freaks them out. And well, that's like when you were getting your phlebotomy certification when you were in school, and everybody wanted to do because everything popped right out and they could do everything on me, and I'm sitting there, I'm playing with the vial, and they wouldn't let me keep it.
No, they weren't allowed to
Biohazardous material. Yeah. I wanted it. I was like, there's like 5 of them. Let me have one of them. I'm sitting there going, but them girls are like, oh. I'm like, and you're going to be in the medical field? How do you... It blows my mind that people wouldn't get in the medical field that are squeamish when it comes to blood, period. I mean, I get that
there was a point where when I was younger, if it was like right in front of me, yeah, I was totally squeamish. It's something I've had to get used to, but I feel like there's a lot of parts of the medical field that I've had to get used to.
You know, and I've worked with big burly guys in the years, you know, like that, and you'd like, oh man, damn it, and you like cut your finger and you're bleeding pretty good, and they're like, oh, stay away.
Oh no, those are the worst ones to give shots to. Those are the ones that we have to lay them down on the bed,
or they'll pass out.
Yes. It's always the guys. It's never. Women are like, yeah, give me a shot.
Well, that's because a woman is you can't trust anything. It bleeds for 7 days and doesn't die. See, Predator was wrong. If it bleeds, you cannot kill it. Then I joke. Don't take that seriously. I'm not misogynist.
He's not that bad.
No.
I would not be married to him.
No. I am not a misogynist at all in any way, shape, or form. I believe all people are shit, but
he does. I can vouch for that.
Just because I'm better than everybody else. Oh my god! But we're way off fucking topic.
I'm kidding.
We went way off topic. Okay.
Yes, we did.
So, but
Was there something you wanted to talk about today?
I was gonna. Okay. We'll get to that, but watching horror movies and stuff like that. The ones that bother me, it's gore. Like that don't bother me. It's like when real shit happens. You know, you're just like, I don't like that. You know, like when little kids die in horror movies or dogs,
Yeah.
cats. No.
It makes you uncomfortable.
Hey, like, yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's and there's certain ones like Nightbreed. I just rewatched Nightbreed the other day, and there's a scene where you know the little kid gets killed, but it's you know, you see the killer walk in, he's got the knife, and then he kills the parents downstairs, and then he turns around and looks at the kid, and then you know the little kid's dead, but that's you don't need, and that's fine. That's where it works. That works great because you know.
Yeah, you don't need to.
You don't
see
need to see
anything
it.
like that.
You know, they're
Too far of a line there.
you know, and then fucking Quiet Place. That kid gets gone.
Yep.
You know it's dead, but you didn't see it die. You know.
I mean,
Yeah, him.
you're
you
like
see
it.
Yeah. It's nothing. It's just but yeah, that was still shocking though. I was not ready for that. You know it was gonna happen because that little kid gets the batteries back and that thing kicks back on. You're like, that kid's dead, and it's like I
it's
said,
still an uncomfortable part in that movie.
yeah, and it's you know it's like the little you know as much as I hate the movie Hereditary, and yes I do hate the movie Hereditary,
I do as well.
and it's funny because people
That
give
is
me
something we can agree on.
people give me shit, but so far
That
I
movie
know
is boring.
I know more people who dislike that movie than like that movie. It's shocking, don't get me wrong, and it's a really intense family drama that they tried to go, oh shit, it's a horror movie. Hurry up, put this in at the end. You know?
Yeah, but the end is terrible.
Oh yeah, it's fucking horrible.
I mean, when the whole theater laughed.
Yeah, see, and people keep telling me I need to watch it again and watch it in a different setting because that setting I was in when everybody laughed affected the end of that movie. I've tried to rewatch that movie a couple times now, and I just can't do it. I've tried. I'm just like,
No, it's in. We like cheesy
oh, I
horror
love
movies.
cheesy fucking horror movies. That's my.
But the end of the movie is so serious, and then it turns so cheesy at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's you can't take it
Well,
seriously
I
at that
think,
point.
And spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen a 5-year-old movie at this point, you know, with the head thing and the girl, that's shocking.
Yeah,
but
it's shocking and uncomfortable.
it's shocking and uncomfortable. But that kid would not be out. That kid would be in jail.
Yeah.
Or in a hospital.
Yeah.
That whole movie takes a totally unrealistic turn. As I say, realistic when there's witchcraft and random shit happening and whatnot.
Yeah, but you don't even know what it is at the end. It's stupid.
You know, that's
Doesn't
like
make any sense.
I'm not gonna lie this though. The one that I got and I rewatched a while back, and I gave it another shot. And it's to me it is a slow burn movie, and it's a lot slower than I like. But I rewatched The Witch a while back,
Couldn't do it.
and once you figure out that they're all sick from ergot poisoning, you're like, yeah, nothing in this movie happens. It's all, you know, they're all fucking lost their shit because they're all poisoned. And I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. And then, you know, you just go with that and it's fine. And it's still slow. But I do like the devil, like, always behind the girl, whispering to her. I enjoyed that. Because you never see the guy's face, you just see him in like a nice suit and stuff like that. He's like, "Would you like to live deliciously?" and shit. I'm like, I like that. I like that. I do like it. But you know, and shit, I love bad movies, like really bad movies.
Yes, you do.
Literally, one of my favorite movies of all time is Blackula. I love Blackula. So.
One of my favorite movies is Witchboard.
Oh yeah,
That's a terrible movie.
With the greatest actress of the 1980s. That is right, Tawny Kitaen. Tawny Kitaen. The only thing she's famous for is dancing on the hood of a Jaguar in a freaking Whitesnake video. and briefly dating
But
O.J.
I
Simpson.
love that movie. I love that movie.
The masked racing team is here.
Wildcat's a meteor. Come back.
Roger, Wildcat.
I've spotted the Venom Buzzard, and I'm in pursuit.
On my way, Clutch.
Looks like company, Max. Buzzard, detach. Wildcat convert. Trouble ahead.
Coming soon. Wildcat, Buzzard, and Meteor each sold separately. Meteor closing.
You're outnumbered, Mask. Meteor release. Time to change the odds.
Mask. Where illusion is the ultimate weapon.
And now, the countdown is over. Last week in the final battle, the world rejoiced. Mankind had just claimed victory in its war with the Visitors.
We've lost. Diana, it's over.
Earth had one secret weapon, the red dust, discovered by Mike Donovan and Juliette Parrish. When not protected by antidote, the toxin proved fatal to aliens, but harmless to other life forms. Once scattered into the atmosphere, it drove the Visitors into retreat, but drove the alien leader, Diana, to nuclear revenge. Donovan had no way to stop the countdown to destruction.
Try!
It was the star child, Elizabeth, half human and half alien, who amazingly saved the world. Tonight, Diana is back. This time, she's mad. Tonight, the Visitors return. They're plotting a war of conquest, a war of revenge. Prepare yourself now for the premiere of the series.
Oh, dude, that's a great one.
And then I gotta find a copy of Ghost Town because I loved that movie as a kid. And
I got Ghost Town on VHS. I also got Ghost Riders on VHS.
Ghost Town is not Ghost Riders.
Yeah, I got both of them. But yeah, I gotta find. See, shit's killing me right now because there's so much stuff that I'm trying to find, and yet we're going back to this when we did the lost media stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there
Ghost Town, I had like a recorded version of it
off
on
of like cable.
Yeah, VHS tape, and
you know, okay, one of my favorite movies of all time is The Keep. Supposedly there's going to be an Australian, but I'm like, that's great. Now I got to buy a $200 region-free Blu-ray player so I can watch movies that aren't getting released here in America. I can get a copy of Ghost Town for like $17 on Blu-ray, but it's British import.
oh, so we need a different
Blu-ray player. So, and you can Amazon them, bring them up. But
the Blu-ray players.
yeah, you can bring up the Blu-ray player. But there's so much of these horror movies that, especially from the 80s, that just got lost. That are just like, no one remembers them. They're so obscure that they have
What kind
no
of Blu-ray player?
region-free Blu-ray player. Right there, region-free DVD. Yeah. So, and the worst part about it is I have Blu-rays and DVD.
45.
That's not bad. I looked at one the other day, and the one that I was looking at was like 200. But yeah. But then you can go look up Ghost Town. That's $100. That region for shit. See, that's the worst part about it. Is my cheapest DVD player I ever owned, which was an Apex little DVD player, which was, and I still own it because it's my only region-free DVD player I have, and it's you gotta like drop the disc in, and it's like booby traps. You open it and drop it in real
Now,
quick.
if you want like the Ultra 4K HD, blah blah blah, you're looking at like $300, but
okay, my bad. They're like $150 now, which isn't horrible, I guess. But yeah, the media is funny because there's movies that over here they got like a print run of like 1,000 copies, and it kills me. And I need to start I know it's bad because I keep starting these like shot on video people that will only print like 100 copies or 25 copies of their movie, and I'm like, I really feel like I should own that. Just even if I store it away so that I have a copy of that media. So when it comes down the road and people are like, hey, have you ever seen this movie? Yes, I own that movie. You know, I've got obscure ass movies, but I don't have some of them that are super obscure. But no. Look up Ghost Town on Blu-ray, and no, wrong Ghost Town.
Not that one.
Not that one.
That
one. Click on it though, because I think you can still. It'll come up with a.
94.91.
Yeah, $100 for a Blu-ray of an
That's
episode.
stupid.
Yep. Yeah, because I got that on VHS with that on the cover.
Yeah.
Yep. So even though
Yeah, it's funny because I couldn't remember the name of that movie until my mom brought it up.
Mm-hmm. But there should be.
I liked really weird freaking movies when I was a kid.
Dude,
That and is it House 2 that has the caterpillar?
Caterpillar
puppy?
Dog. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that movie.
That's over there somewhere.
I know.
It's on the wall.
I mean, I liked House, the first one, but House 2 was like my favorite.
I gotta order them
with the old cowboy.
Yeah. What's funny is
and-
that was the Crystal Skull.
Uh-huh.
Was the whole
Yep.
concept of that movie that people forget. That was pre-Indiana Jones and pre what do you call Ancient Aliens and all that stuff. It was the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a box set now. It's the House box sets. House, the second story.
Second story.
God, I remember seeing House movies. I loved those when I was. Oh, okay, yeah. The other one, which I think is hilarious, was Extro. Extro is a really well-known movie, but it's got a stupid low print run. So, you, like any of the VHS or any of the DVDs out there, are stupid expensive, except for like the British import, which you can buy for like $10. You buy the American Blu-ray, it's like $100, or you can buy the import, and it's like $10.
Alright, you're gonna have to get on to the stuff that you wanted to talk about.
Okay, what are we at now? Okay, we're approaching an hour. All right. So, okay, I had a discussion with Jesse today, and this is I've been in the, for those who don't know, I've been in the comic book business. I started working at my first shop when I was 15 years old. I'm 46, going to be 47. So that is 32 years almost of being in the business. Not including that I collected comic books before I started working at them. And something's bothering me is people who go like, I'm a comic book expert, or have to spout. I'm like, I've only known a handful of people that I would consider experts, and Joe Schmo that's 24 that lives in whatever. I don't consider you a comic book expert. You may know speculation and be one of the guys like, on the internet all the fucking time, looking for the next hot book. I don't consider that being an expert. If you're an expert, you're one that's like, okay, you're looking for old stuff. You're like, okay, first appearances, who was artist on this book, this, that, and the other. Literally, the two smartest dudes I've met, and mind you, this is. And I've been in this business. I know a shit ton of people who own comic book stores. I know people who've worked in comics and stuff like that. The only two people that I've literally sat down and had massive conversations with their encyclopedia knowledge on comics, and that I would even consider experts, is Kevin Eastman from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, I've had to sit down with him because remember when we were set up next to him at Gem City, and I talked to him for hours on end about everything, and him and Mark Waid. And Mark Waid's a really polarizing character, and some people hate him, some people love him. He's always been nice to me. I've got no problems with him personally. I know some shit he's done to other people, but that's not me, so I can't say that he's. But me and him have had big, long conversations yet again at Gem City, and that dude knows his shit. I mean, it goes way back. That dude, he worked as a continuity editor for years, and that I consider an expert. You know, I don't, and these guys are.
But I think there's different levels of expert too.
Yeah,
So,
I would never, even as long as I've been in this business, as long as I've read comics, as long as I've been doing all this stuff, I would not consider myself an expert.
See, but you're looking at expert as in, you know, you're talking about people that have been inside the comic book business, that have written, that have drawn, that have, you know, actually had their hands in it.
Yeah.
So that's a different kind of expert than, say, somebody that has spent most of their life collecting, who has ran a business. You are an expert, but in a different sense of it.
Yeah, but it's one of the things that bothers me when people who are relatively new and are like, I'm an expert at this. And I'm like, you're not really an expert. There's no way you could be. No way. You know, I am a massive movie collector. I'm a massive comic book collector. I'm a toy collector. I've been doing this my entire life. I don't consider myself an expert in any way, shape, or form. I consider myself a professional. I am a comic book professional. I am a toy collector professional. I am a movie, you know, whatever. But I don't consider myself an expert. Can you go to me for my opinion? Can you go to me for, you know, facts about stuff? Yeah, I can. I know a lot. I don't even remotely claim that I know everything. You know, I thought I was gonna ace one, like, you know, like Star Wars. You know, there are people out there who know far more than, and I've consumed Star Wars from beginning in my entire life. But it just bothers me that the level of people who pretend and put that out there, and the level of people who believe it. Yeah. And I'm not calling anybody out. I don't want to call anybody out. And if anybody takes this as a shot to them, then you are part of the problem, because I'm not aiming this to you. You know, if you're offended by the fact that I'm calling out people who are fake comic book experts, and you're offended by it,
then you need to take a look.
Then you need to step back and go, well, maybe this guy's right.
Maybe there's a reason.
And it's and I like people who will use lingo that they heard or at a con or something like that. And, you know, all of us guys are like, the fuck does that mean? That's nothing. You're speaking gibberish. You know, what you want to tell you what it really is, or do you want us to, you know, have a conversation? And the people who look down on it because they're like, oh, you know, I'm like, you know, you're not. You're just not. Don't say. Even go as so far as, like I say, I'm a professional. I'm in, you know, I believe that's that way you can not come off as a dick. And as a woman and a man, I don't care. I find it offensive. And I may take this wrong, and people may look at me and go, you're just a bitter old fuck, and I am, but it's because I am that way personally. But it's, you know, you come...
It's only because you care about
it.
It's only because you care about
I worry right now
world.
Is there's so much, like today, there's always so much speculation. People are driving up books. People are like, oh, this is this. I'm like, oh my God, you know, you guys weren't there when the bubble blew up in the 90s. When all this already happened. This has already happened once before. I was there. I witnessed it firsthand. And I'm like explaining that to people, and they're like, oh, whatever. I'm like, you don't get it, man. You don't understand.
Yeah, that industry came really close to completely dying.
Oh, yeah. And shit like, and I've talked to other people this, and other people believe it too, is I think within the next, 5 years. Other people think it's going to be as long as 10 years. I believe that DC Comics will no longer be printing comics. It'll all be digital. And then I get a lot of that shit because like people are like, oh man, go in the clouds because, you know, digital comics is the way of the future. There's no collectability. There's no way to okay, I bought a digital comic. And then Joe
It's
Schmo over
taking
here
that
fucking
away.
downloaded it for free.
Yeah.
There's no money in it.
Yeah.
There's
it's taking a lot of that
yeah,
away.
and it's funny because literally.
But people are gonna be like clamoring to get that old stuff.
Yeah, and that's going to come to the fact is that back issues. People are going to just start collecting back issues because people aren't going to read. I know if everything goes digital, I'm not going to read new DC. If there's a company publishing physical comics, I will continue to read those comics, unless they're garbage. And I don't know, like, just because it is printed doesn't mean I'm going to read it. It's got to at least be a decent book to read. But no, that's just my stance on that, and people can take it as they will. And if you take it offensively that I'm a bitter old bastard, then you need to step back and look at yourself, because if you're counting yourself as a comic book expert, and I've been in this a long time, and I don't consider myself an expert. And I'm not gonna, I'll help people buy stuff. I will tell people what's a good book to read. I will, it's one of them things. It is what it is. But all right. But to get to further down the road, a little bit further on down the road. All right. I was able to finally get a copy of the Fallout Wasteland Warrior RPG. This is like the skinniest damn RPG I think I
haven't
own.
even opened it and looked at it yet.
Look at this is groundbreaking right here. Look at this. I'm going to hand this book off to Tina, to which she will open for the first time a physical copy,
Look at this.
not a PDF, even though it comes free with PDFs, which is actually pretty freaking cool, to be honest. That happens a lot. Look at that. Includes PDFs right there.
Yeah. So we got to get the dice.
Yeah, the dice will be in tomorrow. Or actually, they might be at they're in transit right now.
There's the code. All right, I'm pretty excited about this because he's not like a huge Fallout fan, but I am.
But I am an RPG guy.
Yeah.
And
So this will be something we can kind of connect on, because it's really neat to have these little things that we can connect on, because I love video games.
Well, you were also a big freaking World of Darkness player.
Yes.
And the thing is this is you can do a lot of miniature play on this one too. So
Cool.
there's gonna be that too.
Cool.
Yeah, because we played a lot of World of Darkness, a lot of Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked me the other day, and they're like, "What's the scariest thing happened to you while you were playing World of Darkness?" I was like, "Daylight." We started playing at like 8 o'clock at night and completely lost track of time till we looked out the door, and it's like, "Oh crap, the sun's up," and everybody's like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, y'all need to leave. We need to go to bed."
Yeah. Oh, well, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, your archetype cards and shit. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. A lot of miniatures. Looks like.
Alright. Do you see that?
Yeah, there's character sheets and stuff like that.
Nifty.
All right. And I'm going to tell everybody again.
So you can talk about that stuff while I
Remember,
look at this stuff.
if you want your books monthly, go to your local comic book store, get a poll. Don't call Wednesday when the book comes out and go, "Hey, do you got a copy of the book that's already $20 and hasn't even got to your shelf yet?" Probably not, because if you order your books in advance, you are guaranteed a copy of that book 99.9% of the time, unless we get shorted, which has happened. And then I go out of my way to make sure that my file
He has
system.
guys for that. He
Yeah.
knows people.
Yeah, I
He
know
will
people.
call around. He will travel.
I've taken a hit. I took a
Rode
hit.
with him or drove him to other stores to pick up books for his customers.
Yeah, I've taken hits on books. I had to pay $20 to sell a book to my customer that was cover price because we got shorted, and I felt horrible about it, and he was upset. But fill out your go to your local comic store, fill out your order previews, get your monthly books to see what's coming out. Because the only thing that sucks about this is DC goes through their own distributors, so you have to go to dcconnect.com.
The GM is the overseer.
Is the overseer. See, what's awesome is Marvel comes in the order book, tells you what all the new titles are coming out. Sometimes it'll even tell you like variant covers and stuff like that, which is really nice. But also talk to your store and see if you can get put on a list. We put people on a list for the FOC for the final order cutoff, and we can get the we can show you pictures of what the new books are, so you can order them. Like if they don't have the variant covers in here yet, a lot of time we will get the variant covers by that time, and we can show them off to y'all. So that's always fun. But remember, just check out your previews. This month is the return of the Guardians of the Galaxy with a new team. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but we'll give it a chance because I always give Guardians of the Galaxy a chance, especially when Nova is a member. So, yeah. And right now, I hate to say this, man, freaking Image Comics is killing it with these new series. Basically, if you don't know, that's where the Old Guard, that Netflix movie, came from. That was a Image comic. Resident Alien that just came out, which is funny, stupid funny, is a Dark Horse comic. So, you know, you can always. I don't think you're going to be able to get the. You're going to have to go for trade paperbacks probably, but. You know, yet again, go to your local comic shop, ask your guy, and see if he can help you out. I will push that forever. So, okay. She's over there intently invested in that one. I'm going to show you.
Hey, this is pretty cool. It has little notes from your Voltec representative.
Your Voltec representative.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when are you gonna get me all the miniatures?
We'll start ordering them. I got you the dice coming, so. All right.
I think Joe will like this.
Oh, yeah, I hope so. So, I was able to get the new Future State books this week in advance. These are the books that will be dropping on Wednesday. I love the new Swamp Thing, Future State, both covers. And the second print of issue 1 dropped this week too. It is really has an Alan Moore run on Swamp Thing feel to it. I'm digging it, even though it's only it's already over, but I love that book. The other one is the new Superman of Metropolis dropped. Both covers. It's not my favorite. It's decent enough. It kept my interest. I mean, it's. I guess that's bonus points there, man. If it gets you and catches your interest, that is fun. I haven't got a chance. It's bad. I haven't got a chance to read these. These are going to be for later on tonight. But Wonder Woman 2 dropped. Will be dropping. There you go. God, the Joelle Jones cover for that, I really like that, and the Jenny Frison cover. And the second print of issue 1 dropped. Flash issue 2. Both covers, Bam and Bam, will drop on Wednesday. I haven't read this one. I hope it's better because that was the one I was rather disappointed in the first issue. So hopefully the second issue picks up. The next one is Harley Quinn. That was a surprisingly good one for the first series, for the first issue, and the second issue is really good. I actually like the standard cover a bit better than the variant cover, even though it's Gary Frank. Let's see, there we go. Boom. Yet again, a second print of issue 1 dropped. There we go. The second print of the next Batman 1 and 2. So the second prints of that just dropped. And then also Batman Future State issue 3 dropped. Alright. What I have to say again, I think I like the regular cover better than the regular cover versus the variant. What do you think? Okay.
Sorry.
I like the other one better. Okay. Future State Batman Dark Detective #1 variant dropped this week. And for those who didn't know, Lucifer, the last series of Lucifer, ended without finishing it. They just stopped publishing issues. They did the trade paperback, which they collected I believe the last 3 issues that did not get published. Published the final 5 issues. So this is the last 5 issues that did not get published when quarantine hit. Essentially, they stopped making it, and it's the last 5 issues, so I can actually finish up this run of Lucifer. I've been a big fan of DC's Lucifer forever, even though I love the TV show, but the TV show has nothing to do with the comic. And Lucifer's in it, Maze is in it, and some of the demons, and that's about it.
They thought he was going to be more blonde.
Yep. Oh my god! And I was able to pick these up, and these are just some back issues I scored just today. The nullified Daredevil 25 and the Miles Morales Spider-Man 21. I stopped collecting Daredevil a while back because I kind of got boring for me. Right now it's kicking ass, so I actually had to get back into it. Was able to score a copy of Carnage, Mind Bomb, some old issues of Uncanny X-Men, which these will be going up for sale at the shop because I don't need these, but I'm gonna put some affordable X-Men back issues out. Here's one that surprised me that was able to get, and I'm really happy I got it. Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, number 133. That's right, Jack Kirby goes to DC for the first, and I'm like, okay, cool. That's something I want. I am massively happy with getting that. That is going to be in my own personal collection. I got to press that one out though when I get to the shop tomorrow. Some issues of G.I. Joe that I was missing. So evidently, right now, Nomad, Girl Without a War is hot. This will be going out for sale at the shop soon. So those are some back issues I was able to pick up. I'm going to label off some of the stuff that dropped last week. That was some fun stuff. Dune, House of Atreides, issue 4. They're doing a really good job adapting the House books from Boom. Boom Comics, we only find them when they're dead. This is a weird ass book, and I love it. It's so they keep finding gods floating out in space, but are dead. So they harvest them and use their
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's super weird, man. And this is the final issue of the first story arc, and I'm just fascinated by that book. Dead End Kids from Source Press. This one is I didn't know how to take this. Frank Gogol. Sorry, Frank, if I butcher your name. Sent me a link to let me try this book out a while back. I told some people about it. We had a few customers pick it up at the shop. But it is a pretty enjoyable. I want to say it looks like the beginning of a coming of age book. It's Dead End Kids, The Suburban Job. I'm happy with that one. Steak from Scout Comics. This one's fun vampire book. I would say it's a black and white book, but it is not. It's black, white, and people's eye colors come out and stuff like that. It's from David Byrne. David A. Byrne, not David Byrne from the singer. So
Talking Heads.
Talking Heads. So I like that one. Marvel's Excalibur. It's fun because it's seeing the alternate universe in there where Betsy and Kwan needs to work together. Post Americana, issue 2. This is a weird, screwed up book, and I loved it from Image. Need to look that one up. Post Americana. Star Wars Bounty Hunters, probably my number 2 book right now from Star Wars. Darth Vader, then Bounty Hunters, and then regular Star Wars. There we go. Daredevil number 26. For those who don't know, Elektra is now Daredevil, and Daredevil's in prison. So, spoiler alert. IDW surprised me on this one. I'm not a fan of the Star Wars IDW Star Wars Adventures, but Star Wars Smuggler's Run, really dug that one. Conan this week was a little blah, I'm not gonna lie. I like Conan, but right now I think Ablaze Comics with their run on Conan is actually doing better than Marvel with theirs. Marvel X-Men with the Alien Versus covers. It's okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. I don't know. It didn't really catch me, and it's funny seeing people in their old costumes now. Wolverine issue 9 with the Alien Versus cover. There it is. That is enjoyable. I'm liking where that's going right now. Right now, Wolverine, I don't want to give a whole lot away, but it's really good. This one is probably the most biggest disappointment I've read in I don't know how many years. What's the old saying goes? If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. Moving on. Strange Academy. I like this book, but I feel like I should love this book. It's basically New Mutants kind of book, but for the magic-related characters in the Marvel Universe. It's a school ran by Nico from the Runaways, Brother Voodoo, Doctor Strange, all them, and it's just. I think it should be better, but I'm still enjoying it. It's one of them. Yeah. Star Wars: The High Republic issue 1, second print. For those who were able to get it, that was a little hard to get because they didn't even warn you. All of a sudden, they're like, "Oh yeah, we have second prints available, and they need to be placed to order today." So some people missed out on that one. I'm going to see where that book goes. It's literally issue 1, so not a lot has happened, and it's a little. Savage Avengers. I did not know how I was going to like a Conan team-up book in the current age of Marvel. So it's Conan teaming up with all these different Avengers and shit like that. And one of the, I hate to say this, was the one that was a while back, which was Conan, Doctor Strange, and Doctor Doom. And I loved it. Amazing Spider-Man's been killing it month after month, and that's a book I just think keeps continuously getting better. And I'm really happy with where that one's going. Captain Marvel, that's another Alien Versus cover. I love that because it's a take on Ripley, so it's so good. Yeah. I kind of got out of reading Captain Marvel there for a while, and then I ended up getting some back issues, and now I'm back in love with it, and I'm happy with that. Fantastic Four, 28 Alien Versus cover. I love the fact that the Fantastic Four run has been embracing the family feel of the book again. I do dig that. Shang-Chi, number 5. This is great because this is the end of this story arc. I'm a big Shang-Chi Master of Kung Fu fan. Long before he was ever... the character I never thought would get a Marvel movie. I was hoping he would show up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something like that, and now he's got a movie. But great book. This is the Marvel book from Marvel. It's entertaining. I enjoy it. It's a weird take. You know, they keep looking at different characters from different timelines and different eras, but it's hit and miss. The month before was great. Last month was garbage. This month's pretty good. It's an anthology book, so take it as you will. So you having fun looking through that now? You got your GM screen around here somewhere. I think it's actually behind my head somewhere. Which you can now open, I think.
It's an overseer screen.
It's an overseer. Yes.
Overseer, man.
So, okay. What else? Is there anything else we can talk about? Probably not. Oh well. If I.
You can get dog meat.
Yep. So, all right. We are closing in. I think we're gonna tie tonight up because you got to get up early in the morning.
Yes, I do.
You know, there's a.
I am not looking forward to it.
She got to be at work at 6:45 in the morning.
I am not looking forward to it. By any means.
Nope. So, we're going to tie up tonight's episode, and I'm going to probably not rant anymore. So, I'm not like going on a tirade in the middle of an episode. But I'm still going to put this out there to the Nature Boy Paul Lee. I will still fight you. Okay.
You will.
I might lose, but I'm not going down without a fight because that's bullshit.
Not going down easy.
Nope. So, as always, I'm Paul.
I'm Tina.
And we're not licensed therapists.
No, not at all.
Not in any way, shape, or form. So, good night, y'all.